mother. Your mother. Okay. Why was she reporting it stolen all the time? Would you take it from her?
So this plea hearing has a specific detail that sounds almost too specific until you hear the pattern behind it. The defendant's 50 years old, he has a 40-cycle criminal history, and is pleading guilty to charges involving fleeing police, identity fraud, and stolen property. But again and again during this hearing, the case circles back to his mother's red Chevrolet Spark. Watch how Judge McBurney addresses both the addiction and the repetition. My name is Dan. This is the Courtroom Files.
But I don't think with fleeing and attempting to elude, I could legally sentence you that way. But let's get through the part where if you're admitting to it, let's do that. And then we can get to what does the sentence look like, okay? So the question on the table was, how are you pleading to? Okay.
As to indictment number 26 SC 000824, how do you plead to count 1, fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer during the commission of certain crimes? Count 2, reckless driving. Count 3, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Count 4, failure to maintain lane or improper lane change. And count 5, failure to obey traffic signs.
Plead guilty.
As to indictment 26 SC 000825, how do you plead to count 1, theft by receiving stolen property? Count 2, identity theft fraud when using/possession identifying info. Count 3, driving without a valid license. And count 4, attempting to misrepresent a tag.
Plead guilty.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you do not have a direct right to appeal from your guilty plea conviction?
Yes, ma'am.
But if you believe that there's some type of error in your guilty plea, you can apply to the appropriate appellate court to request a discretionary appeal.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Do you understand that that process must be completed within 30 days from today?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have only 4 years from today for a felony charge and 12 months from today for a misdemeanor charge to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness of this guilty plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Your Honor, if this case were to proceed to trial, starting with the indictment ending in 8640, the facts would show that on February 1st, 2019, officers conducted a traffic stop on a red in color Chevrolet Spark for running a red light. When the officers got to the car, they introduced themselves and gave Mr. Jordan the reasoning for the stop and asked for his driver's license. At that time, the driver, who was identified as the defendant, told the officers that he did not have a license and gave them the name of Calvin Jordan. When the officers ran that name through GCIC, they saw that his license was suspended and that he also had a warrant for a probation violation out of Fulton County. At that time, the defendant was placed under arrest. The officers then checked his person, where they found a substance that was later tested and tested positive for cocaine. And he was taken into custody and arrested for the charges we have before us. For the indictment ending in 0824, if this case were to proceed to trial, the facts would show that on July 16, 2025, officers of the East Point Police Department responded to a stolen car hit at 2838 Gus Thornhill Drive. That's in East Point, also in Fulton County. The officers saw that the car they were looking for was the red Chevrolet Spark, the same car from the last indictment. The officers then got behind that car to initiate a traffic stop. The driver was identified as Mr. Calvin Jordan in this case. Instead of stopping for the officers, he fled the area, running through multiple red lights in a reckless manner with blatant disrespect for or disregard for public safety. He also made an illegal right turn, causing him to start driving down a one-way street the wrong way. The officers were eventually able to stop the car, learned that the person that was driving was Mr. Jordan, and he was arrested for the charges we have in front of us for this indictment. And lastly, for the indictment ending in 0825, if this case were to proceed to trial, the facts would show that on February 4th, 2026, officers of the East Point Police Department was patrolling around Calhoun Avenue and Bell Avenue. those two addresses or locations are in Fulton County when they saw the red Chevrolet Spark with a test drive tag. The officers in this case initiated a traffic stop and informed the driver, who was identified as Mr. Calvin Jordan, the defendant in this case, for the reason for the stop. When the officer asked for his license, he told the officer that he did not have it with him and wrote down the name of Ashley Lyons with the date of birth of March 21st, 1973. That information was incorrect and did not belong to the defendant. When the officer ran that information, the description of the person who came up for Ashley Lyons did not match the defendant. The officers in this case was able to identify the car as being registered to a Justina Jordan. The officers saw that the car came back as stolen and was reported stolen. So at that time, the officers did arrest the defendant for the charges we have in front of us for that indictment ending in 0825. In this case, Your Honor, the state did try to reach out to Ms. Justina Jordan, who is the registered owner of the car, or to see if there was like permission for him to get the car, since it was the same car in all three scenarios. We were unable to make contact with the victim in this case, or the person who owns that car. So we're not too clear on the availability of the defendant being able to get the car multiple times. However, those are the facts we have for those indictments. Regarding the recommendation between the state and defense, we've agreed to a sentence of 10 years to serve one for the defendant to complete an alcohol and drug evaluation, have gainful employment, and take an anti-theft course. And that is all from the state, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Smith-Mann, criminal history information on Mr. Jordan.
Your Honor, there are 40 prior cycles, not including the one that is before you today. There are 5 felony arrests, 8 misdemeanor arrests. There was a probation violation in 219. It does not tell me any additional information for that. And then there is a later probation violation, Your Honor, that does not give me a date. So hopefully probation will be able to help us with that. And that should be one past the 2019. Nothing further.
When you say 5 felony arrests, do you mean 5 felony convictions?
Yes, Your Honor, I am so sorry.
That's okay. So
That
out
is
of the
exactly.
40 cycles, there are 5 felony convictions and 8 misdemeanor convictions.
That is correct, Your Honor. I
Got it.
apologize for that.
That's okay. I just want to make sure.
I was trying to do them as we were going because I didn't have this case, so I am so sorry.
Nope, you're all good. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Ms. Wood.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Jordan is 50 years old. He's originally from Florida. He's lived here in the Atlanta area for the past 10 years. He does have family here, as you heard. He has 5 children. He does have a 9th grade education. I believe he has completed his GED. Your Honor, he struggles with cocaine usage. We actually referred him to drug court. He was eligible. However, there is a probation violation out of Clayton County and then a brand new case in Barnesville, Georgia, that
Involving the red Chevy Spark?
I'm not sure. But given those moving parts, and in speaking with drug court, and as you know, it's quite difficult to try to resolve other things to make it work, which is why we are hoping you will accept the state's recommendation in this case. One thing that I did forget to point out to Ms. Smith, so on the 2021 case, the one ending in 640, I don't know, it might make more sense. He did a significant amount of time. He actually got revoked, so he did about 26 months total since that arrest. And
He's been revoked on that for?
I don't know if it was the basis of other things, but he went to prison between 2019 and resolving this here.
Sure. What was the basis for you going to prison?
I was on probation here in Fulton County when I got pulled over for the cocaine and the marijuana. I was on probation here, and when I got pulled over, they violated it. They revoked the rest of my probation.
Got it. And that sent you down the road for a few years.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, that'll probably resolve that one.
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Simpson, it sounds like there's an active probation warrant out of Clayton County. Is there any Fulton probation still lingering that we ought to address here? Okay, thank you. Mr. Jordan, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Your kids, how young is your youngest kid?
19.
So they're all grown.
Yeah, well, yes, sir.
Okay. The red Chevy Spark that belongs to your cousin?
My mother.
Your mother. Your mother. Okay. Why was she reporting it stolen all the time? Would you take it from her?
Something like that. It's
Okay.
like,
All right. Is the Chevy Spark still out there?
mm-mm.
What happened to it?
I don't know what happened to her. I've been locked up.
Okay. All right. But that's your connection to it, is that it was your mom's car. And you might sometimes borrow it in a way that maybe she didn't
I use the
appreciate.
car all the time. She'll get mad with me and call the police on me if I don't come back.
It's a tough relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Jordan, I find there is a factual basis in each of your three cases. Sounds like you've been wrestling with cocaine for a while.
Yes, sir.
It's too bad drug court won't work out right now. It doesn't mean that it could never happen. You've got to sort out Barnesville and Clayton. But if you get back here and are on probation and are testing positive, it may be that probation recommends that you go to drug court. That's not a sanction as in you getting locked up. It's an opportunity that might help you out. But we'll see how that plays out. I also find that your pleas are knowing and voluntary, meaning you've understood what we talked about. You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
And voluntary just means no one's forcing you to enter this
Yes,
plea.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Wood, do you authorize someone in my office to sign your name and your clients to each of the three indictments?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Smith?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Let me figure out how to pronounce this sentence. So starting with 21 SC 178640, count one, I'm going to sentence you to 1 year to serve. Count two will be 12 months to serve. And count three is 12 months to serve. Those will run concurrently with each other. So that's 1 year. I think that sentence is already done because of your revocation. I think the Department of Corrections will view that as that sentence is complete. In 26 SC 000824, this is the July 2025 Chevy Spark case. Which of these has a 10 in it? Is fleeing and attempting to elude is the maximum 10? I'm trying to figure out how you get to 10 to serve one.
Yes, it's 12 months to 10 years. Like it's 12 months to 10 years.
Okay. All right. Your sentence as to count one is 10 years to serve 1 year with a balance on probation. Count two is 12 months to serve. Three is 12 months to serve. Same with four and same with five. So that's a total of 10 years to serve 1 year, balance probated. Special conditions of your probation. Number one, stay away from the red Chevy Spark. Just resist the temptation to drive that, because they're going to see you and say, there's Mr. Jordan in that red car. East Point probably has a photograph of you in that car in each of their patrol cars because they're going to pull you over. Number two, when you are out, you will get a drug and alcohol abuse evaluation. And if they recommend any treatment, that treatment is part of your probation. I'm also going to require that you have at least 3 random drug screens each month for the first 6 months of probation. If you are blowing those up, that'll be a reason to get you into drug court or into the day reporting center, which is another way to get you some drug treatment, some job readiness, things like that. But I'm not going to require those because it may be that when you are out, you aren't testing positive. Finally, in 26 SC 000825, that's the most recent one from February of this year. Count one, what's the range for that theft by receiving?
It's 1 to 10, but let me double check. I'm gonna say 1 to 10, but I'm verifying right now, Judge.
Okay. I just don't want to give you an illegal sentence because then we have to do it all over again. Yes, it's 1 to 10. All right, so count 1 is 10 years to serve, 1 year, balance probated. Count 2 is 1 year to serve. 3 and 4 are both 12 months to serve. So same sentence, it'll run concurrently with the other case and the same conditions of probation. Stay away from the red spark, drug and alcohol evaluation and treatment. I'm going to waive your probation supervision fees for the first 3 months after you get out, so you can get situated, settled, maybe start working. And I think that covers everything. Ms. Smith, anything else?
Nothing further. Thank you.
Ms. Wood?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Simpson, Mr. Jordan needs to report 48 hours after release.
His probation is currently overnight. Still lives in Marietta, has a court insurance.
Okay. Is that where home is, Clayton County?
No, I stay in Atlanta.
Okay, well, when you are released, whatever your home address is going to be defines where you report to probation. It's the county of your residence.
I probably have to get, my probation transferred, from
Okay, well, I mean, you show up to a probation office and say, here I am, Calvin Jordan, and you provide proof of residency wherever it is you're staying, and they'll say, I mean, you could have been in Cook County, and they'll move it to Fulton if that's where home is.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right, good luck with things.
All right, thanks, sir.
Bye,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Jordan, you're welcome.
So in the end, what stood out for me was how much of the sentence was about the pattern. The judge acknowledged the cocaine addiction, but he also had years of repeated conduct in front of him. The red car became more than a detail, in my opinion. It became a symbol of the same choices happening over and over and over again. But that's how I see it. I'm curious to know how you see it. Take a moment, let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, check out one of the 2 that are on your screen right now. Thank you so much for watching.